Hello guys, so today we're going to start off by doing a makeup look that I seen off of Pinterest. And here's the Fenty Beauty Concealer in the color 420, in which we're going to apply that on our eyelids and use it as a primer. Most people have eyeshadow primers, but instead I decided to use concealer. So we're just going to smoothen that all out. And then I'm going to go in with my Beauteous Cosmetics purple diamond brush and blend everything together. And you can put as much as you would like on there depending on how thick you want your eyeshadow to look. And you don't have to apply it up that far if you're not using that much eyeshadow. So if you're only going to use a minimum part of your eye, then just use as much as you're going to put on there. And that was the makeup brush that I was using from my collection. Now, if you see me looking over, my laptop is directly in front of me, so I'm looking at the picture from my laptop. So now we're going to go in with the new makeup palette that I'll be releasing soon, which I'm very excited about. And I'm trying to make sure it matches as close as possible to the picture that I was looking at. So we're going to go in with that burgundy fall color. And you blow off the excess from your brush. And we're going to go on the outer corners of the eye. And with this, you want to start off high, a little bit closer to your eyebrows. Because from the image, that's how close it was on his. And I'll add the image in at the end of the video. And as you can see, the new eyeshadow palette, just like the rest of my eyeshadow palettes, are very pigmented. Alright, so we're going to continue to apply that to the other eye also, making sure it matches perfectly to the other eye, or at least close to perfect to the other eye. Alright, so now I'm just cleaning off the brush from the shadow that I just previously used. And we're going to go in with the next color. And we're going to go in with that light blue. And doing this makeup look, this was very new to me because I don't usually do colors like this on my face because I feel like it don't look good with my skin tone, but it actually came out perfect. And I really do love that blue color and how it looks on the makeup brush. And then we're going to go in the bottom. And as you can see, how I applied the burgundy is not so much as at the ends. It's more so swooping around the top. And then you just fill in that inner circle with the blue. So it'll give off that subtle ombre effect to the colors and make it all come together. And I had so much fun doing this look. I actually was very proud of myself for doing this because it made me step out of my comfort zone. And for the people who've asked, the wig that I'm wearing is from Wiggins Hair Company. It is 30 inches, 250 density lace front wig. And I actually really love that hair, and I really love how the camera captured the way the hair actually looks in its natural state. Alright, so now we're going to move on to the next color. And I tried a different brush this time. And we're going to go in with that yellow. It's not a neon yellow. It's like the fall mustard kind of yellow. And you just blow off the excess. And blowing off the excess eyeshadow helps from it dripping on your clothes and potentially messing up your outfit. And then you just go in with the yellow on the inner corners of your eyes. And then you're going to kind of make it swoop over the blue, almost. And like I said, we're trying to give it that ombre effect so all the different colors can blend together. And as you can see, those are some very bright and noticeable colors. And I'm not even using as much. It didn't take a whole lot to get those colors to pop. And as far as that eyeshadow, I do plan on releasing it before the end of the year. And I just went in with the white, and I'm gonna kind of make it, let's see. Yeah, it was a mixture of the white and the yellow. And I'm going to try to make like the line across, because I didn't have the liquid liner that he had in the picture. So I had to try to make it work with the eyeshadow. And which on there you can actually see the line going across. And also, like I mentioned in my previous video, as far as my eyebrows, on this video I still had the allergic reaction on there, so that's why I never attempted to touch my eyebrows, because I didn't want them to get further irritated. And then we're just gonna go on the waterline. And I just used that same burgundy that I put on the first layer on my waterline. To base my waterline. And like I said, I went over it so many times because on the picture I was looking at, it gave off like a smoky eye effect. So that's why I kept going over it so many times with the color, to make sure I got as close as possible to my inspiration photo. So on here I decided to go in with my fingertip because I wanted to blend it evenly instead of trying to use the brush. It was much easier for me to blend that shimmery green across my eyelid. And I just put that directly in the middle between the yellow and blue. And as you can see now, the blue looks very shimmery. And now right here, me adding that glitter was actually not in the picture, but I love adding glitter to my eyeshadow, so that's why I added it to it, just to give it an extra pop in the eyes. And I went in with the gold, and I'm just gonna press it in because it's a press on glitter, so I'm gonna press it into that yellow to bring the color out a little bit more. And as you can see, it did make a big difference when I applied the glitter to it. And you can apply as much glitter as you like. I like a lot of glitter, so that's why I went in with it a couple times. And then we're going to take that solid white and we're going to go across the waterline, but with a thinner makeup brush instead of the big one that I previously had to do the smoky eye with. And for me, putting eyeshadow on my waterline is very difficult because I kept blinking, so it was making my eyes water. So then I decided to switch the brush because that smaller brush was kind of too small. It wasn't really giving off as much as I wanted it to. And as you can see, that brush brought it out a lot more than the smaller one did. And my brushes are very durable and soft, so you can add as much product to it as you would like and it'll still hold up and be uniform together. And now we're gonna move on to the foundation, which is again the Fenty Beauty foundation. I think it's in color 410. And as far as foundation, to each his own. You can put on as much as you like. I like to add it in those 4 areas and then just smooth it out as I go, instead of packing on a whole lot and it'll give you that cakey look on your face. And I dipped my makeup brush in water so it can absorb the excess foundation. And like I said, you just smoothen it out and spread it to all the necessary areas of your face. Instead of adding more, just spread out what you've already previously placed on your face. And as you can see, my skin is already healthy, so the foundation applied flawlessly. And make sure you hit your ears, because just in case you decide to take pictures or go out to an event and there will be a photographer there, once they take your picture, it's going to be noticeable that your ears or your neck don't match if you don't properly blend each area in all together. And you don't have to use a whole lot to make it spread to your ears and your neck. Just make sure you go across it at least once so everything can look even. Now we're going to go back in with the Fenty Beauty Concealer in color 420. And I'm going to put that underneath my eyes. And then down my nose. And putting the concealer in those areas are like the base for you highlighting and contouring your face. Because like I said, once you take a picture, those areas along with your cheekbone are the ones that the sun or the flash mostly hits. So you will want that area to be a little bit brighter than the rest of your face, so that it can give you that photo finished look. And then you just pat all that in. Now, once you apply the concealer, you do need to go back into the water with your beauty blender and then damp it up a little bit more, since you're adding more product to your face. Then you go down the nose. And when it comes to contouring your nose, that really depends on how you want your appearance to look. Because once you contour your nose a certain way, it will appear smaller or larger depending on how you place the concealer. Now we're going to go in with the darker shade of LA Pro. We're going to put that on our cheekbones. And then we're going to go down the bridge of the nose and contour the nose. Like I mentioned, it just depends on how wide or how skinny you want your nose to look. In my case, when it comes down to the nose, I want it to be a little bit skinnier since my nose is already widened. And you can already see, without me even blending it in yet, that my nose has already appeared thinner. And we're gonna go with the flathead brush. And when you blend that in, you wanna blend it in like upward strokes instead of going in a circular motion. Make it go upward. And then you just blend it in down the nose. Now we're gonna go in with my e.l.f. contouring palette. Now we're gonna go in with the bronzer and go over the spots that we put the darker concealer at. And like I said, you do that in an upward motion and it just brings out the effect of what you already put down. from the darker concealer. And it may look harsh and like a lot now, but once everything is blended, you will see how it actually contour and brings in the face. And continue to go in the upward motion. And then you want to go under your jawline. You want to make a number 3. So you'll go over your forehead, on your cheekbone, and under your jawline. So it'll make a complete 3 on both sides. And then we're going to go in with blush. So you'll just make a smile and then hit the tip of your cheekbones. And now we're going to use the setting powder, the L'Oreal setting powder in number 918. And you're going to place the setting powder in the areas that you highlighted. So the areas that you put the concealer at. In which I'm still going to add some to my forehead and on below my jawline. And around my peach fuzz, just to set that and keep it in place so it won't be as noticeable. Then we're going to let that sit while I go on and apply my lashes, which those are Hollywood, and I'm going to apply my lashes using the mirror from my Party Girl makeup palette. And I know that using the hair glue is harsh, but I don't have any eyelash glue, and eyelash glue really don't stick as long as I want it to when I have used it. So if you all have any suggestions on some good eyelash glue that I can use instead of using the hair glue, then I'll definitely try that out. Alright, so we're going to go across with the eyelash glue. Now I'm going to look into my mirror and place it as good as possible. Usually I'll place my lashes on correctly, but when it be that one day that I don't get it to stick, it gets very frustrating. Because you have to constantly do it over and over again, and by the time you get it corrected, you have been packed on so much glue that it don't even look cute anymore. But it's much easier to place it on with tweezers and then go in and correct it with your finger instead of trying to correct it with the tweezers. And that's when I go in and I press it in with my fingers, because usually the inner corner be the part that usually don't stick on the first try. And as you can see, that lash really brought out the makeup look instead of just keeping the eyes naked with no lashes at all. And on this lash, like I mentioned, it was a little bit difficult to put that one in, so I had to look very closely to place it directly on my lash line. Alright, so now we're going to take the Purple Diamonds brush and sweep away the setting powder. And make sure you sweep away as much powder as you can. Try to get all of it off so it won't give you that ghostly, ashy look to your makeup. So your face won't look white almost. And as you can see, like I mentioned with the bronzer, now it looks all blended together instead of before it looked kind of harsh. Now we're going to go in with the Beauteous Cosmetics Sunbeam Highlighter, in which I placed that on my cheekbones and make it go upward instead of bringing it down. And I usually blend it with my finger because it's much easier to do it that way than using a makeup brush, because with the brush it kind of gets everywhere. And as you can see, it's very highlighted and cute. And most people like to put highlighter on the tip of their nose. I do it sometimes, but not often, because I don't like to have a shiny nose. And if I do place some on my nose, it'll be very little, a small peck of it. It won't be a whole lot. And I forgot I still had powder on that sponge. That's why I made that face when I seen that extra powder was placed on there. And see, it's very noticeable even without the flash on. And then we're going to go in with the Sephora setting spray, and we're going to place that all over your face. I would say do at least 4 pumps, 4 to 5 pumps. And then if you have one of those mini fans, it's best to use that instead of trying to fan it with your hand, because you'll get way more air to dry off your face quicker. Now I'm going to go in with the Beauteous Cosmetic Matte Lipstick in the number 12. And I did not want to use a lip liner for this look, because I want it to be very subtle. And it's a very pretty pink that actually went really well and complemented my skin perfectly. And then I'm going to go over that color with our glitter lip gloss. And that lip gloss will be added very soon. The release of it, I'm pushing for the end of this week. And there you have it. That's the finished look. Left, right.